homestead in the Redlands around plants, agriculture, and horticulture all my childhood. We had a rough childhood. We didn't have a lot of resources, and nature was a way for me to escape my reality, if you will. So I would gravitate to nature. I'd run out to the forest, in the Everglades, to the woods, myself alone sometimes, or with my little brother, who's also a creative and really loves nature. And you know, we'd create our own world. We would imagine a different life. We'd climb to the top of the highest tree and draw up there, or maybe imagine that we lived in that as a tree house. I didn't know a lot about plants per se, like names and how to take care of them, but I knew that that's where I wanted to go. That was my safe space. We grew up on a nursery, a plant nursery, so we were always around the business. We know how it functioned and we saw like the processes, but it wasn't until I became an adult, moving into my adulthood and my career in the horticulture industry, that I really learned how to cultivate, propagate the benefits of plants, what they did for us. That is when I really discovered my love for them. First, I started in the landscape business working for a landscaper, and I learned the outside workings of the plant world. And I liked them, but that was more of a business side, so it wasn't as exciting as when I went to work for this large grower, where I got to work in marketing, working with plants, building sets for trade shows, and that's where I really found my niche. I was really good with them. They responded really well to me as well. The plants, I loved how I felt. It was just a very natural relationship for me, and there I thrived. All my life I kind of struggled with like technical things and, you know, Excel sheets and VLOOKUPs and all this spreadsheet world everybody's in. That's not the world that I thrive. Mine is in nature and around nature. Something I'm really proud of is being one of the first women down here in South Florida building green walls. 15 years ago, there weren't a lot of women in this business. Today, you see more and more women, and it's really exciting to see that we can do just about anything, right? We could do anything. I started when they were manual. They didn't even have irrigation systems yet. You had to manually water them and install them. Now they're remote, and the technology is amazing what you can do now with green walls. Being a woman in this industry had many challenges. We had to overcome a lot of like the manual labor of it. It was seen as a man's job. And so overcoming that had its challenges. I realized that I brought in the feminine to something that was very masculine by bringing in my design touch and seeing the world through a woman's eyes, and really helped me merge that feminine and masculine. And through time, you know, my peers started to see that, you know, I got dirty. I got, you know, heavy down and dirty in all of the projects, and really gained the respect from both sides. Today, I have a following of many women that love to be in the industry, want to keep growing in this industry, are as passionate as I am about plants. And so together we've created this community of really hard-working, creative women. A lot of them are moms, a lot of them are very busy, and still we have that one thing in common, which is earth, our plants, and we really love it. So that was the starting point of what really propelled my passion for plants. Through the years, I kept winning awards, and on the design end, I was thriving, and also on the emotional side, people didn't know, but I wasn't doing so well. I was a single mom, struggling financially, emotionally, not a lot of support, as you can imagine. So I was going through a lot internally, and plants was my healing. They were my peaceful time. They were my escape from, you know, the harsh everyday world, that hard world we live in sometimes. During COVID, I got laid off, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, but I started collecting plants and taking care of them. I had 250 plants at one point, and they really gave me a purpose to take care of them. I know that I needed to take care of these things. They were living and breathing, and in turn they would take care of me. So I collected my plants, I took care of them, and they helped me kind of really find myself and my calling and what I wanted to do. I've started a legacy. I'd like to think I'm starting a legacy with my children, with my family, growing up, bringing them up around plants, teaching them how to cultivate and harvest and propagate. My little one can tell you, he's 5 years old, he can tell you all about plants. And I'm really hoping that that carries on in their own journey and in their life, and that they always incorporate plants into their world. When it's my time to pass, to go on to the other side, as you'll say, I want people to remember that. What they learned from me, what I'm teaching, how I gave back to our community, through planting gardens or community gardens, and that's all I want. I want, when you think about plants, to think about Rosey.